All right. Can we hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Thank you, everybody, and good evening from here. Today, we are basically going to look at the PTDF scholarship. The application process has been completed already. So what we intend to do today is to provide guidance for those of you who have been shortlisted for the interview. The reason this is important is because PTDF is a scholarship that is very good and is also a scholarship that is competitive, and then a scholarship that you can win easily, but you can also miss out on easily if you don't take the right measures and follow the right approach to the interview. So this meeting became necessary because I started getting inquiries from people about about like providing guidance to them on how the scholarship interview should go, how to prepare, and all that. So while all that was going on, I was able to reach out to the WhatsApp group of previous scholars, people who interviewed last year. And that was how we got our resource person for today. Myself, I am Chukwuemeka Augustine, as you would see on your screen there. I'm a PTDF scholar also, but the OSS, that's the International PTDF Scholarship. So I do run this kind of activities or events sometimes, but I wanted to see that somebody who has just recently gotten the scholarship and got the local one comes on around today to speak to every one of us, and then you'll be able to you'll be able to get to understand what exactly the scholarship is about, how you need to prepare, the kind of questions to expect, and all that. I want to encourage every one of us to get our pen and paper, keep them by the side, because a lot of what you're going to hear today, you may not have the opportunity to hear them again. I will try the much I can to record this and maybe possibly upload it on YouTube later. But there is also that part that you try to take notes of the important things to you while the messages are coming out. So I don't know how you got to know about the event, but I run Academy of Scholarships and Transitions on Facebook, on YouTube, and those were the primary contact points where information was shared about this. Then obviously people would have shared it to other groups as well. But that's more the much I would want to say now because of time. I just want to introduce our guest for today in the person of Daniel. And Daniel has been very gracious. In fact, it was just yesterday we had this conversation, and it was yesterday he agreed to do this. And to put it in perspective, I would also let us know that one of the other persons who would have done this was trying to charge money. The person wanted to charge money from every one of you, but Daniel volunteered to do it and to do it for free. And I just want you to welcome him with an applause. Before I hand over the mic to him, I want you to click on that clapping emoji on your screen right now. Just keep popping it, and then we hand over the mic to Daniel. Daniel, please go ahead with the presentation. Before that, I want to remind us that please let's keep our mics muted, and also you don't need to bother turning on your camera because I don't know, it might affect your internet usage and all that. So just keep it mute, keep your face, and then when the time is right for you to ask questions, we'll let you know. You will be able to unmute yourself, ask your questions, get answers to your questions, get guidance where you need to. But very importantly, keep a pen and paper so that you're able to get the message. Yeah, more people are joining, but we're not going to wait or do the African time thing. So, Daniel, you're welcome to today's live stream, and I'm handing over the microphone to you just now.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I really appreciate us for joining this program. Please, if you can hear me, just somebody should just signify. Please, if you can hear me, I want to make
Yes, you
sure
are
that.
coming out loud and clear.
We can hear
We are
you.
Okay.
hearing you, Daniel. We can hear you loud
All
and
right.
clear.
All right. Let me correct something. My name is not Daniel. So it's just for you to know that we met yesterday, and in fact, we didn't really have enough time to really know ourselves very well. But it's just a commitment. I'm Adioye by name. I'm Adioye. So so now people are still
Thank you for
joining.
that.
No wahala, no problem. I can understand. So thank you for joining, and people are still joining. I don't know. Anyways, I will proceed. All right. My name is Aduyi Ariyo. I graduated from University of Ilorin. That's my BSc. Then my MSc at University of Ibadan, fully sponsored by PTDF Scholarship by the grace of God. So I'm doing this like what is rightly said that somebody was trying to charge. You see, was actually a I was also once in your shoe because then there was no fund for my education and all of that. But I did not have money. If I had money, then I wouldn't have even tried this scholarship out. And I know that many of you are just like that, that you don't really have the money, and that's why you apply for this thing. And I shouldn't be charging you because I know many of you probably you probably do not have or something. So that's why I'm doing this thing for free, just to give back to my society, and I'm very, very happy to do this. And furthermore, please, I'm doing this foundation just for us to prepare our mind, because tonight I'll be very raw with us. I will be very raw, and I'll make sure that I deal with every bit of the interview, every bit of it, because this my preparation is the compilation from several questions I asked other scholars and my experience and all of that. So I was able to come up with a lot. That's why I've been trying to reach out to the convener that you should try as much as possible to help me tell people to get their writing materials. Please, you still have ample time to prepare adequately and very well for the scholarship. So, the first thing I would try to say is that don't see PTDF scholarship as a way, PTDF scholarship interview as a normal. Please, can you mute your mic, please? Benjamin. Yeah, thank you. So don't see PTDF scholarship interview as a way of hurting or scolding, and or this mentality that we have in Africa, that once you go for the scholarship, they really want to scrutinize, they want to, no. It depends on the flow, on what you are able to allow them to penetrate. That's what they will just stand on. I will be sharing my own experience, and I'll be sharing a lot of tips tonight. So I hope you are ready, and we are really prepared to jot things down. So now let's move on. So I have some highlights here. I want us to understand the interview invitation. Then I want us to understand what the PTDF's interview is really testing. What are they looking for? What is their interest in the scholar they are interviewing? Then I want you to understand your application. I want you to know how to prepare for personal introduction. Then I want you to have the basis of academic and subject matter questions, then questions about your proposed university, then oil and gas industry awareness, then why PTDF, then why they can ask you questions like why should we choose you. We have some things to discuss under that. Then I want you to prepare for difficult and unexpected questions. Then how to handle some questions you don't know at all. That's where they will test your critical thinking. Then I want you to know how to communicate, and also how to use body language, then your dressing and professional appearance, then document preparation, common mistakes to avoid, very important, common mistakes to avoid. Then I will also be exposing you to the grading system of the scholarship. Then I will share my experience. Then after that, then we can have questions. So now I'll be starting fully. The first thing I will say is that please, if you are going for the interview, the first thing that you should know is that let me congratulate you, everybody, for getting to this stage. It's not really easy, because your application has passed through the screening and you have been selected to be part of those that will be interviewed. Now, congratulations to everybody. Although the journey has started, and that's not just the end, and you still have to fight to the end of the application process, which is the interview. So the first thing I will say is that please don't allow fear take away what belongs to you. And that's very paramount. If you are applying for the first time, you are applying for the second time, don't allow fear take away what belongs to you. And the person that is talking to you, I applied for 3 times, and the first 2 times were for overseas overseas scholarship. I couldn't get it because I was not really prepared, and because of I lacked some documents. Then the third time I applied for only once for the local scholarship, and I was able to get it once and for all. So it is possible that you have you just apply for it once and for all, and it's possible that you can still be applying. But irrespective, please don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. Don't feel like, oh, I can't get this thing. It's meant for some people. It's meant for scholars. No, you can also get this. Please be encouraged. Now, so I want you to understand the interview invitation. Please, if they have invited you, please take all your required documents along. The documents that you submitted online, everything, please check through again and make sure that everything is intact. Don't forget anything at home. In fact, tonight I expect you to have prepared a day before your interview, prepare every document and make sure that they are ready for the interview. Then it is important that you arrive very early as stated in your invitation letter, at least 30 minutes. Although during my own time, I had the struggle because it was clashing with Jacob. Please, can you mute yourself? All right, so during my own interview, it was clashing with an exam date. So it's a lot of struggle. I had my interview time was 12 noon and my exam was stated for me by 12 noon also. So instead of spending like um 3 hours on the exam, I spent 1 hour 30 minutes, and whereas the interview had already been going on, so I needed to just divide the time into two. Yet I was still able to meet up with the interview, but they were already closing. But I was the late person that came, and eventually God did it, and I got my scholarship. So it is important that you arrive very early. This is because there are some things that some scholars will have heard. Please, I want you to be sensitive to discussions around you, but you don't need to respond. There are some things that scholars will be sharing, like they will be communicating, and what you will actually need in the interview, they can discuss it, but you will not know if you are not sensitive enough. I got to know this thing during my own time, because before I enter the interview venue, like the place itself designated for the interview, the office. So somebody was mentioning something like the technologies they use. I was hearing it from somebody, so I did not prepare for it at all. Lo and behold, when I entered, they asked me that question: that what are the technologies that I will be using? I was like, wow, thank God I even quickly checked it online and I was able to tell them and defended it very well with them. So what if I had not heard that thing? So it's very important that you arrive very early so that you can know some things that are going on around. They will orientate you, give you some things to know before the interview. So these things are very paramount, especially when you're applying for the very first time. Then please, you have to dress very very appropriately, because there was a time one of my applications, there was a time I was hearing the authorities there that, oh, look at how this person dressed. He does not know that the dressing even counts. So if you are on native attire, please make sure that you wear cap, like you are on cap. Then it does not necessarily mean you will be on suit, just be on tie, just dress corporately. So you don't need to go and buy expensive dressing because you want to impress them. No. Then that's that about the interview. Then what is the PTDF interview really testing? What are they really testing? What are they looking for? What is their interest in the scholar? The first thing is academic competence. Like, what is your academic background? Is it strong enough to compete with other applicants? And let me tell you that as you are applying, as you are competing with other applicants, you are not competing with everybody generally. You are competing with people from your state of origin. That is the essence of the state of origin certificate. So you are competing with people from your own state of origin. The people you are meeting on that day, you may not even be competing with them. So still be open-minded, communicate with them, share your experience, be friendly with everybody. You are not competing with, you may not be even be competing with them. So it's your academic competence that is really talking for you over there and all of that. Then the second thing they are testing for is the knowledge of your proposed study, proposed field, or your proposed course. So what do you have adequate knowledge? Do you know what you want to go and do in this field? It's not just you are you have applied for this particular course and you are going there like that. No, what is your depth of knowledge about this particular field? Then I'll be talking to PhD scholars also. I'm a master's scholars anyways, but please pardon me, I'll be talking to PhD scholars also. So what is the understanding of your research or your study area? So your research proposal, your study area, what is the understanding you have about it? They will also be testing your communication skill. There are some things there are some questions they will give to you that are very cheap, but they just want you to express yourself to know, okay, can you communicate well? Then there are some questions that you are not even prepared for. They call them critical thinking questions. So they will just throw a question at you. In fact, you may not even prepare for it. They will just say, what is your knowledge about it? And if you're able to come up with an answer that is very good enough, they will know that, oh, this person has critical thinking. So they are looking for critical thinking skill. They are looking for how your career goals. Then they are looking for leadership potential impact. So do you have potential to impact your world, impact the field, impact the oil and gas? Then what is your commitment to Nigeria? So the panel is not necessarily looking for someone who knows everything. They are not interested. Maybe you know everything. No, they are not looking for someone who knows everything. They only want to see whether the candidate demonstrates competence, clarity, preparedness, and potential. That's just all what they are looking for. They believe that you cannot know everything, yes, for sure, but they are looking forward to all these things. So ability to communicate your skills. Then next to the, I hope you are jotting. Then next to the agenda of the day is understanding your application. So just like I said, please go through um your application online. Make sure you study everything because your application is your interview syllabus. So every question they will be asking you is directly from what you have imputed into your application, your research proposal, your statement of purpose. They are very important. Please stay with them, study them word by word. I'm not saying you should memorize them, don't cram them. It may not help. Just try to study, okay, for this paragraph, what is it talking about? Use a word to represent that paragraph and give it an acronym. That's what I did, although I'll still share my experience. So just make sure that you understand every paragraph, everything in your research proposal, everything in your statement of purpose. They are very important. Every word, the key words that you have used, the words that belongs to your field that you have used, please make sure that you don't just state them without you having the knowledge to defend them. If you have mentioned any technology that you want to use, make sure that you know that technology very, very, very well. So please revisit all the documents you submitted, as anything written in the application can potentially become an interview question. That's just it. Then the next one is preparing your personal introduction. So they are not, these people, they are not interested in, okay, telling them the story of your life. Okay, I I was born in this state, and all of that, all of those things, they are unnecessary. Please focus on the scholarship. They are not interested in just brief introduction about it. So in fact, if you enter the interview office, please don't sit down until they ask you to sit. It's a sign of disrespect if you sit down without them telling you to sit. Just stand, enter and stand and wait for them to tell you that, okay, you have to sit down, you can sit. Then they ask you, okay, introduce yourself. Just tell them your name, your academic background, the probably the relevance of it to the oil and gas. Then just tell them your relevant experience, your research interest, and your future goal. That's just, it has encapsulated everything that you have to do for that day. Then so they are not interested in your life, in your entire life story. Remove unnecessary personal information, keep it very relevant to the scholarship and oil and gas. Then sound very natural, please, rather than you just memorizing as if you have memorized your answers. Please sound natural. In fact, it's possible that all your preparation, they may not even delve into it at all. They can just throw a very cheap question at you, and you just have to be talking and just flow with their communication. So I will still share my experience anyways. So now the sixth one is your academic and subject matter questions. So they will ask you questions based on your academic or what is the course you are going for. Now, the first question they can ask you the sample questions about your degree. They can ask you what you study. Don't just give them a direct answer and keep quiet. Please make sure that you talk at length until okay when they are now satisfied. In fact, when they are satisfied, they will be giving you nodding, or they will be giving you a sign that oh this guy has tried. This guy, they will tell you to keep quiet, that we are not interested again. So please don't keep quiet until they give you maybe a sign to keep quiet, or they ask you okay it is enough. So you can tell them what you did study. After mentioning what you study, what is the benefit of what you studied to the oil and gas, start stating all these things. Please make sure that everything you are saying you are relating it to the oil and gas. Very, very paramount. So they can ask you why did you choose this this field. Then they can ask you what are your major areas of interest. They can ask you explain a major concept in your field. So all these things are very important. They are testing you if you know your field of study very well, how you are able to how you have gotten familiarized with your field of study, your knowledge about it. Please, when you are explaining anything, make sure that you are stating, you are relating everything to the oil and gas. Very, very important. Now, a sample question about your proposed program, they can ask you why this program, they can ask you why this specialization, they can ask you what problem does your program address in the oil and gas. Then they can ask you how does it relate to Nigeria oil and gas. Then sample question about your research, especially for the PhD. They will ask you what is your research topic. They can ask you what problem are you solving, what is the problem, I mean why is the problem important. Then they can ask you what is your methodology. They can ask you what are your expected contributions and why did you choose this topic. So you should be able to defend everything you are presenting to them. Then questions about your proposed university, they can ask you why this university, why this particular program in this university, what research facilities are available in this university. They want to know if you are actually familiar with your university, although they may not really delve into this very well, but just try to know something about your university that can defend you. Then they can ask you what who are your potential supervisors. They can ask you how does this university align with your research. Please take note, do not tell do not tell that you chose the university simply because it is prestigious. Please, can you mute your mic? Amina, Amina, please mute your mic.
Okay.
Thank you. So do not tell that you chose this university simply because it is prestigious. You have to understand why that particular university is appropriate for your study. Now you have to know oil and gas at least to an extent, oil and gas awareness. So know something about the oil and gas industry, connect it to your own field or vice versa. So know something about your field that you can connect to the oil and gas, and know the oil and gas that you can have something, a link to your field. Then for example they can ask okay how can information science, I studied information science in my master's level. They can ask me how can information science contribute to the Nigerian oil and gas industry, or how can AI improve the petroleum sector. So just find something that you can relate with the oil and gas, and yeah, you are good to go. Just say something. Then why PTDF? They can ask you why should PTDF sponsor you. So they can ask you build um okay, so after asking you that, they can say, okay, You can just build your answer around, okay, what they need, the capability of the scholarship, the opportunity, then the impact. So the sample question can be, what knowledge or skill do you need? Why is PTDF's funding important? Then what makes you capable of succeeding? How will the knowledge benefit Nigeria or PTDF? So PTDF's objective. So just know the objective of PTDF. It's just the one of the main objectives is just that, okay, they have fund to sorry, can you imagine? So they have fund to develop the indigenous citizen or indigenous students of Nigeria, so that after they have graduated, they can come back to the oil and gas and benefit them. So that's the main objective of PTDF. Then the 10th thing I'll be discussing is, why should we choose you? These are questions that they are very testing. So they can ask you, why should we teach you and choose you? So just tell them that, okay, during my previous studies or project, I identified this problem. Always state the problem. Don't say, okay, you have this academic, you are proving your worth, your scholarly experience or document. No, they don't need that. Just tell them that you identified this particular problem and you were able to address it like this by this. Maybe it's now it's the addressing of it was now very expensive, then you needed to add additional money, so they will see the need that, okay, this person is problem solving person. Then now the another one is difficult or unexpected questions. So they can ask you that, okay, what if you don't receive this scholarship? Do you get? They might have even scored you very well, but they can ask you, what if you don't receive this scholarship? Or what if your research fails? What will you do after graduation? What contribution will you make to Nigeria? Why did you change your field? Then, or why should we fund you instead of another candidate? So these are critical questions that you are not even prepared for. So it's just for you. Please, before you answer some questions, even if you know some questions offhand and you can easily see them, let them know that you think before you talk. Don't just respond immediately, because if you respond immediately, you are giving an impression that, oh, you actually have programmed yourself before coming for the interview. So just think as if, pretend as if, oh, you are just thinking about the question to give them the appropriate answer. Don't give them immediately your response. Just calm down and give them the response when you have thought about it at least a bit. Now, how to handle questions you don't know? The first thing is that don't panic. They know it's just like a defense. They know that there are some questions that you may not know, but you should know a little about everything. So don't panic. Just think first, then answer what you know. Be sincere, like be very honest about about what you don't know. Like useful responses can be, okay, I am not entirely certain about the exact figure, but my understanding is this. So just state it very simply that you are not really sure. Or you can say that I don't have precise information at the moment, but based on my understanding, you cannot state what you know. Be very sincere with them. Then your communication and body language, please maintain eye contact. They are not lions. In fact, most of it was during my interview I realized that most of them, they are even there to provide is like to encourage you. They are even there to sharpen your expertise. They are not there to just pull you down or to come and attack what you know. In fact, it happened to me during my own interview that, okay, when I didn't know certain thing, but I was on the way trying to give them the response. They even helped me to give that appropriate response. They know that, yes, I please, can you mute yourself, please? So maintain eye contact with them. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Just believe that, okay, if this thing comes, if this scholarship comes, fine. And if it does not come, fine. So just do your best and leave the rest. So you don't need to force anything. Maintain eye contact. Please project your voice. Even if it takes you to be shouting, be shouting. Oh. Just project your voice, make sure that you are very audible. Then your posture, please sit very well, like sit straight. Just sit straight with them. Don't, you just have to be calm. I will still send a mock interview video to us that we can watch at our own leisure time. Then your pace of discussion, the pace is very important. Maintain a very consistent pace. Don't rush and don't be too slow. Just maintain your pace with confidence. Please don't be arrogant with them. They check character, they check our ethics, they check because you are representing them. They cannot sponsor somebody that, okay, their character, they cannot even defend your character. Please don't be arrogant, don't argue with them. Please don't argue with them. If I have seen it during my own one of the overseas scholarship I attended, there was a professor, sorry to say a professor, he was like cybersecurity is not related to library and information science. But I was like, this thing is very related. So I was explaining myself. It was other one of the panelists that bailed me out that is very related, the cybersecurity, because library and information science is talking about books and how you maintain them, store them, process them, and all of that. If one of these books, now we have moved from physical library to virtual library. So and cybersecurity is virtual too. It can attack all these books, but they are still having this archaic mentality. Some of them are like that. Don't argue anything with them. Just explain yourself and move on. Then please make sure that you listen to them very carefully. If you don't understand anything, ask them, please, can you come back, instead of giving them a very contradictory response. Please make sure that you ask them, okay, for clarity. Then avoid unnecessary gestures. Maybe they are taking your time and you are giving them one gesture or the other. Please maintain as you are. It's just for like the interview cannot even be more than, it depends on the duration, but I don't think the interview can be more than 30 minutes or 20 minutes because they have other candidates they want to interview. So avoid excessive use of sir and ma. You know, Nigeria, we are too all this respect. Please avoid unnecessary sir or ma. It will be as if you are begging for the interview or something. No, just be yourself. Just maintain what you have. I've said that you should avoid arguments with panel members. Then think before you answer questions. Then avoid arrogance, please. It's very important. Now let's talk about dressing. Like I said the other time, please be very neat. Be very neat with your dressing. I think I listened to somebody that was saying he traveled from another state to that interview location, and that day his shirt was very rumpled, so he could not iron it. So they now asked him that, why are you like this? They challenge him because you are coming for, you should be neat and everything should be tidied up. He said that he needed to travel and there was no place for him to sleep and all of that. So on the journey, that was why his clothes was rumpled. So just in case they ask you some question, please find a suitable answer, um, a suitable answer for them. Then be formally dressed. If you are a native, please wear your cap. Please, it is very important. All these things they attract mark. Wear your cap. Then for ladies now, please minimize your accessories. If just dress very simply, minimize your accessories, avoid too much of perfume. When the entire room is filled with perfume, they will be distracted. That's just the truth, because maybe some of them maybe they don't even like odor like that or not. So just make sure that everything you are doing is moderate. Let them be minimal. Then please present a very proper documentation folder. Some of you, they can ask you to bring your certificate and you are giving them a folder that is torn. No, please, it's just for that day. And once you get the scholarship now, that's just the end of everything. Just get a very neat folder and present is prepared to represent PTDF professionally. That's just all this dressing is looking about. Then Document preparation, like I said, bring all documents along. Your awards, please, if you have awards, bring them along. Maybe you were the best graduating student in your school, the best graduating student in your department, the best graduating student in your faculty. Maybe you have belonged to an association and you have been given an award. Please take these awards along. Anything that you know that can give you an edge over other candidates, take them award. I'm not talking about professional certifications, because don't mix them up. Professional membership certificate is different from professional certifications. Maybe the ones you got from Allison, the one from Coursera, they don't recognize those ones. I've given them several. They didn't acknowledge them. They didn't recognize them. Please don't take them along. But professional membership, please take them. Your awards, take them. Then another thing is that read well and sleep very well. Like let your mental ability, like let your mental capability be ready to answer any question. So rest very well, arrive early, eat properly, and then your phone, please let it be on silence for that. Don't please. So let your phone be on silence for that particular moment, then remain calm. Then now, common mistakes to avoid. Please take note very well. Common mistakes to avoid. Don't memorize your answers word by word. Maybe they're asking you, okay, can you walk us through your SOP? And you have crammed everything. See, they are looking at your SOP from their system. So they are not expecting you to give it to them word by word. Just note the important keywords that you have used during it. So don't memorize any answer, but make sure that you are familiar with your answers very well. Then giving unnecessarily long answers. Please make sure that everything you are saying, you are not repeating it, but you can prolong your answer so far you are giving them points to hold on to, but don't be repeating words or using synonyms to represent words again. It can be long, but if you know that you cannot speak as long as possible, make it short but very concrete. Yes, very concrete. So not knowing your research proposal very well is another thing to avoid. Please make sure that you have enough time to study your proposal for PhD students. Then not knowing your proposed university also is another thing to avoid. Then knowing nothing about PTDF, then ignoring the Nigerian oil and gas sector in your presentation. Please make sure that you connect everything you are saying to the oil and gas. Then being overconfident, please don't, like I said, don't argue with them. Just be very friendly and flow with the communication. Then don't speak negatively about Nigeria. You know, all of us, we are experiencing the hardship and all of that. And don't say or don't speak negatively about the lecturers in Nigeria. Still give them their accolades, still give them that they are trying their best and all of that, but just make sure that you find an answer to give to them in any question. So don't speak negatively about Nigeria. Don't give contradictory information. If you could not hear their questions very well, please ask for clarity. Then don't arrive late. Don't dress casually. Then don't use AI generated answers without understanding them. You can use AI to generate it, that's fine, but do you understand what it has given? If you know that you don't understand, please stay with that thing that you have generated and understand it very well. So, and don't be rigid, please. Don't be rigid with them. Okay, you have programmed yourself, this is what you want to see, and no, they can change the interview, your expectation, they can change, but they won't go beyond what you have known. But if you are programming yourself, you will not be able to know the kind of answer that you will give to them. Now let's go to grading system. I hope you guys are just you are following, because sorry, let me before I'll go into this, please can I have some people responding to the question? Are you following, please?
Yes, of course.
You are following.
Okay. Uh,
Yes, we are following.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are following.
thank you very much.
Yes, we have two,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you. All right. So for the grading system now, let's delve into this. The first thing they are grading is your motivation. Motivation. The questions can be like, okay, how did you develop your research interest? That's your motivation. You can say, why did you decide to do a master's degree? Or why did you decide to do a PhD degree? Then they can ask, why did you want to go in your chosen field? So for your motivation, it carries 20 marks. Like it carries 20 marks. So you can use this thing to write your proposal. You can use this thing to write your statement of purpose. Your motivation is very important. Why did you develop your research interest? Why did you decide to do a master's or PhD? Then why did you want to go in your chosen field? Then the second one is aspirations. Aspirations. So what's like the questions like, what do you plan to gain from current research goals? Or and your current, your career goals. So what do you plan to gain from current research goals and your career goals? And they can ask, what do you hope to do immediately after completing your master's or PhD degree? So for your aspiration, it carries 15 marks. 15 marks. Then perspiration is the next thing, the grading system. Perspiration. How have your previous academic research and professional experiences prepared you for your master's or PhD? So they can ask this question. This is your aspiration. They can ask like, what exceptional achievement have you made? What exceptional achievement have you made? Then you can ask, in the course of your career or academic experiences, what contributions and or impact have you made? So your perspiration also carries 20 marks. Then now for the interview itself, your comportment, the application to the oil and gas industry, knowing the knowledge of your subject matter. Also, this your entire interview it carries 20 marks also. Then your qualification also carries 10 marks. Your qualification carries 10 marks. Now for BSc, let me speak more about this qualification. For BSc, if you know you graduated with a first class, you have the 10 marks already. Like it's not negotiable. You have the 10 marks. If you have 2-1, that's second class upper, you have 8 marks. Then if you graduated with 2-2, that's second class lower, you have your 5 marks. So they don't go below this. And your 2-2, it must be with work experience. It may not be from the oil and gas, maybe from another organization, but can you relate it to the oil and gas? So with work experiences for your second class lower. So that's the marking for your qualification. Then publication in a reputable journal. This publication is especially for the PhD candidates. Please make sure that you have at least one publication, at least a paper. Make sure that you have at least one. Then, and I think each one is for 5 marks. I think so. One is for 5 marks. Then for masters, under this, please have your professional membership. The minimum is not stated, but the maximum is 5. So even if you cannot get 5, please try as much as possible to get at least 3. At least 3. Then you can have more than as many as possible. Like me now, I have 4. Like I have 4. Before I got my scholarship, I had 2. Then after my scholarship, I needed 2 more. Then I got it. Then if you are from computer science or information science, maybe after this webinar, you can reach out to me for professional membership if I can get for us. Then if you have I've said it, if you have national award, please take them along. They also attract mark, award, international award, any kind of award, anything that can give you aid, take them along. Now I am going to the end of the my session, so I want to really be very raw and plain with us, that I want to share my experience. I want to share my experience. So my interview, I got my interview invitation. Then after interview invitation, I check my it was in fact, yes, I want to state something before I go into that. Please, to solidify your experience, interview experience, and your mark. If it is possible that you gained admission, you get admission before the interview, that you can present your admission letter to them. Please present it to them. It shows that yes, you're actually ready, and is your getting the scholarship award is not predicated on this, but I'm just saying that if you can get it, your admission, please get it and show your admission letter to them. It shows that yes, you are actually ready for them. So before the interview, I started my master's program already. So during the interview date, it was clashing, like I said earlier, it was clashing with my exam. So I started contemplating what to do on this, but there was nothing I could do. I cannot be the only person that they will schedule my exam. It's not possible. So my exam was slated for 12 noon and my interview also 12 noon, and I needed to be there early. So I went for my exam first. I wrote at least 1 hour, 30 minutes. The exam duration was 3 hours. I wrote 1 hour, 30 minutes because I had prepared very well, because I already knew what was ahead of me, that I needed to spend one half of the time. So I just rushed my exam. Thank God I got good grade in the course. So I was very happy. So I spent 1 hour, 30 minutes. Then after that, I rushed down to the venue. I rushed down. I was interviewed at UI, University of Ibadan. So I rushed down to the venue. Getting there, in fact, the number of local scholars, they are not as many as the number of international scholars. So I was surprised that, in fact, I met only two people on seats, or maybe three. So I could not get, nobody was on queue again. So I got there very late. Thank God there was no accusation or anything. They didn't challenge me. So I sat down. I was how would I say it now? I was under prayer. I was like, so eventually I calmed myself. So getting there, I started listening to the scholars. So they were not like, it's like they're asking them the technology that we can use to do, I'm from information science. They were not asking them the technology that you use that can help your program and all of that. So I just quickly picked my phone. I checked for the technology. I put that one at the back of my mind, not knowing that that same question will be asked. So when it was my turn, I entered the office. So I stood. We were not like, okay, you can sit down. And I said thank you. Then I sat down. Then okay, before I go further, let me tell you the category of people that you will meet at your during your interview. There are three categories of people definitely that you will meet, and the number varies per center, the number varies per year. It does not matter, but there are three main category of people that you meet. The first person that you meet on seat is somebody that is very knowledgeable about oil and gas, but is from the industry, not an academia. He's not from the university, he's not a lecturer, he's not in, but he's from the industry itself. So the person is very, very knowledgeable. So anything you are saying about the oil and gas, they know everything. Like, they just want to gauge your knowledge about everything that you are saying. Okay, do you actually know what you are saying? So they know everything that you'll be saying. So there's someone that is very knowledgeable from the oil and gas industry itself. Then this person will not really be talking, will not really be questioning you, will not really be the one engaging you. But the person that will be engaging you is a lecturer, like maybe a senior lecturer or a prof, or so this person will be. And fortunately, you can even have more than one professor on the seat. So I don't know, but this is another category of person that you meet on the panel list. So this person will be the one giving you questions, asking you questions, and if your response is towards the industry, then the person from the industry will take over. You get, but is the person that is giving you direct, that is engaging you, is a lecturer. So it's very, there's nothing you want to say about academic that they don't know. So the person is also very knowledgeable. Then the third person is someone that is very neutral. This person will not talk. There's nothing you are seeing. There is no how the conversation can be. The person will not talk, but you will see this person writing something down. You don't know what he's writing. Like, I don't know if many people have gone for the interview and they have observed this. So you see this person writing. You don't even know what the person is saying or what the person is writing. You don't know. So these are the three categories of people that you meet at the panel. So when I was called, they said, okay, I should sit down. Then I greeted them and all of that. They responded. In fact, the atmosphere was very friendly. Like, was very friendly. So they said they requested for my documents. See, I packed everything. I just handed my folder. No, I removed the document from the folder. I handed all the documents to them. I have put my qualification, my credentials, BSc, everything, my everything, like everything. It's not like I'll be giving them one by one. No, don't give them one by one. Give them everything at once so they will know that you have gotten everything for them. So you don't need to be stressing yourself or stressing them. So just give them everything at once. Then after that, they were checking for my grades, my WAEC, my BSc certificate, my grade, and all of that. After checking the credentials, the certificates, they now put them on their table. Now I know that it was time for me to start defending myself. So the lecturer, I don't know, maybe he's a prof or something, so was now engaging and said, okay, can I, that was the question that they asked me. They can ask you only one question and just know the how to answer. Like, I don't know. They asked me that, okay, can I walk them through my SOP? That was the only question. So for them to ask that question, so they want to hear your introduction, introduce yourself. They want you to hear about your field, about your anything you can see at that moment to qualify you. They want to hear it. So they just tell me, okay, can I walk them through my SOP? That was the only question. So I already mastered my SOP. I know the first paragraph, the second part. I think I had about 5 paragraphs. So in each paragraph, there is a word I use to represent a paragraph, and that word I give it an acronym. The second paragraph has its own acronym. Third paragraph has its own acronym. The fourth and the fifth. So I now match these acronyms together, so it forms a particular word. So the moment I remember that word, I know what an acronym, like each word in the acronym, stands for. So it really helped me a lot to remember what is inside my SOP. I don't need to cram. You see, now I did not cram, but I knew what was inside my SOP very well with the acronym that helped me. So I started giving them, okay, I'm Ariu Adi Afios from this university. I graduated with this, then this is my field, then this. I introduced everything. But there was something I was observing as I was talking. The person that was quiet, very neutral, started laughing. Like, I didn't even say, gone very, I've not gone deep into the conversation, and you started smiling. I did not know what happened, but that was none of my business. Then I continued. I was just speaking for like 10 to 15 minutes, but I was hitting the point and I did not repeat myself. So I was just expanding what I've written, the everything I've written in my SOP. I was just expanding them with examples and all of that. So they didn't interrupt me. It's like they were enjoying it. So that was, then after I was done, I stopped. They now asked me a question. They now said, this is another question they asked me. They said, why did I, because in UI, if anybody comes from UI, you know that there's a department that is called that is for library and information science, but I didn't study library and information science. I went for information science. So they now asked me that, why did I go for information science? So I explained what information science is and how it is relevant to the oil and gas. But now, like, in information science, you do a little of programming. That, why am I hard on myself? Why can't I just maintain my discipline? I say the two are related. but it's just that I've always been somebody that loves to challenge. I love to challenge myself very well, and I want to be exposed to new things to learn so that I can use them in the oil and gas. They now nodded their heads. They said, wow, okay, okay. In fact, they begged me that please, if you get to the oil and gas, I should please stay within my field. Like they were begging me that please, when you get to the oil and gas, stay within your field. That that please alone, that thing gave me a notion that, oh, is it that they are already considering me for this award or what? So from there, I started discerning, and I was like, okay, maybe it can be, and if it does not be, anyhow anyhow it goes, it's fine. So then the lecturer wanted to ask me question. He said, okay, he said, I will have bombarded you with question, but I realized that you don't have required or requisite knowledge about programming and all of that, but he would just leave me. So there was one question they asked that I could not answer very well. So the person from the industry now said that it's okay, that we are not here to hurt you, we are not here to attack you, but we are also here to develop you. And actually they did. They were explaining certain things for me. So when they were explaining, from there the interview went from formal to informal. We started gisting, like we went totally off from the interview questions or anything. So we started gisting like as if we have known ourselves. Then fortunately, this is now like a favor I received from the panelist. So the person that was very neutral writing something, the person just spoke. I was like, wow. So he now started saying, oh, you graduated from University of Ilorin. I said, yes. And you are studying at University of Ibadan for your master's. He said, yes. He now said, okay, do I know this lecturer? Like he mentioned a lecturer's name from my former institution, from University of Ilorin, in the same department. He now said, I said, yes, I know this lecturer very well. I started describing him. He now nodded his head. He said he graduated from Uni Ilorin and from my department in Uni Ilorin. Then UI also, he went for masters in UI and also for my department. He started mentioning the lecturers in my department in UI. He started saying, oh, as this doctor, this person become a professor. I said, no, they are not professors. So we laughed like as if we have known ourselves. The only thing that pained me was that I could not establish relationship with the person up till today. So that was my experience. So after everything like that, then the nurse said everything was quiet. Then I knew that I think this is the end of the interview. The nurse said I can go. I still waited. Say I was still expecting them to ask me questions as if I already enjoyed it. So he said, no, no, that everything is fine, that I can go down. I should go and pray very well for the results. I said, okay, no problem. So that was how I left the interview. So the interview does not have a particular pattern that you can follow, but it's just that please flow with them. Don't be rigid. Just flow with them. So that's how my interview went. So I want to speak on the SOP. If you have written your SOP, please let me emphasize on this thing for masters especially. If you have written your SOP, make sure that it's not beyond 500 words. Like count it, use your system to count it. Make sure that it's even better that it's reduced below 500, but don't let it be beyond 500, and it should be on a single A4 paper. Don't let it go to the back. Don't print front and back. Don't let it be on 2 pages. Just only on a single page, but not more than 500, that they can glance at it once and they will capture everything. I think my first interview for the overseas, they complained about that. Then then for the grading point that I told you about, the aspiration, perspiration, and please let your SOP have this format, like the way you have written it. Let them flow in that format. So let them flow in that format. Tell them why you have chosen the university. Tell them the reason why you chose your course. Tell them what you want to do after the university. Just tell them a lot about, but don't let it be beyond 500 words. So for the PhD students, please make sure that your research proposal, the methodology that you want to use the contribution and everything. Please tailor everything to the oil and gas, and any technology that you'll be talking about. Please make sure that you understand them. You understand them very well. So I want to say I've come to the end of my own session by God's grace, and I really appreciate everybody for this time given to me. At least, in fact, you guys were amazing because everything was quiet and there was no interruption from anywhere and all of that. So thank you very, very much. So it is time for questions and answers. Please, finally,
Wow.
please pray very well and everything. Please, thank you
Let's
very
just
much.
give start clapping in the chats. This has been a very wonderful session, very amazing, very detailed, and very thorough. In fact, many of you will understand the value of what you had today when you start going for your interviews. I want to say a very big thank you to you. You have really done well today, Ario. You've taken out your
Thank you.
time to explain, to put everything in context. Yeah. So I will say one or two things before we take questions, particularly concerning the PhD students, so that everybody is covered very well. I'm not going to take so much time, just like maybe 7 minutes to emphasize some aspects of the PhD. So for those of you who are going for PhD, there are a number of questions that can come up for a PhD that a master's student will not typically have. One would be the aspect of your research. So, ideally, when you are writing your research
Sorry,
proposal,
can we
you
mute our
must first
mics?
class.
Let's
You
finish
have
first. So that we know where we're going.
your literature review, all of those things. But the part that could put you in a state of confusion is the methodology section or your proposed methodology, because at the point of the proposal, everything is just proposed. A lot of things can change. But that proposal you have and the methodology you are proposing, you should understand it very well. So know the different types of research methodology, whether you're going to do quantitative research, you're going to do qualitative research, you're going to do both or a combination. But the other critical thing is whatever you say you are going to do, there has to be either a reason or a justification for why you are doing it. That's like the other layer of it that makes you stand out. So if you say you are going to study something and you are going to follow, maybe you are going to do quantitative research, there should be a reason why that justifies that course to be something that goes by quantitative research. And then you should also know for the PhD case, there could be research challenges that you can foresee from the beginning. For instance, if you are going to OA, or maybe you are going to University of Ibadan, for instance, to study something in oil and gas engineering, and it's a research that is going to involve nanoparticles, for instance, the one of the major challenges could be access to those nanoparticles, because you may not have a lab within the school that can process it, or you may have a lab in the school that has some nanoparticle samples, but you may not have the right equipment to distribute that nanoparticles inside a fluid, for instance, to ensure that there is uniform distribution in the fluid you'll be studying, all of that. But you need to be able to think through the challenges, possible challenges that might come in the process of that research, and then have like, maybe this is what I think I would do if this becomes a challenge. Logistics, if this is failed in America, or maybe if shipping from America becomes difficult, I can find subcontractors in Ghana who are going to send it very easily to me, or subcontractors from one of the other African countries, something like that, or subcontractors in China, depending on which place has faster logistics. But these are case specific. Then what I'm going to say now is for everybody. If you are going for PTDF interview, like he already emphasized, I just want to lay further emphasis on this, whether it is local or it is international. PTDF is established to build local human capital for the oil and gas industry. Lately, they say for the energy industry in general, but what you are studying must be relevant to either the oil and gas directly or to the energy industry. Energy industry in this case means renewable energies are coming into it, not just fossil fuel. But you must have a clear line of thoughts on how that thing you are proposing to study is relevant. And this should not get you afraid, because regardless of what you are studying, the oil and gas industry has a place for like everybody, even for medical doctors in the actual sense. So if you cannot establish by yourself how your course is relevant to oil and gas, one of the things you can do is to look at the aspect of that course, the particular aspect of that course that you want to go and study. Put it in, say, ChatGPT, and ask ChatGPT to give you maybe, say, 5 different ways this thing can have relevance to the oil and gas industry. It will give you those things. Try to make it explain them further to you. If you don't understand it, try to make ChatGPT to explain it to you in the language you will be able to understand, right? So that is in the case where you don't have anybody you can speak to directly. Use any of the AI tools to find a way to connect your course to a relevance in the oil and gas industry. It is very, very important. Now, for your statement of purpose and research proposals, it's always best to follow the maximum word count limit. If they said 500, don't go and give them something that is 1,000. Or if they said 200, don't give them something that is 300. Don't cross the upper band of the word count limit. It's very, very important that you follow it. Then, your questions are going to be mixed, because you're going to be interviewing in different locations, and to a large extent the interviews can come at you in different formats. It's not what the other person was asked that you be asked exactly. In some cases you might be lucky, but in some other cases you could have. When I did the interview for the international one, I remember they asked me one trivial question like, which organization am I applying to for a scholarship? That's like something very obvious. My first instinct, because every time we say PTDF, my first instinct was to say PTDF. I told them it's PTDF. They said there was a follow-up question, but they were trying to probe to know if I really knew the meaning of PTDF, which I then told them. And just for emphasis, PTDF, in case this comes to you, is not Parents Teachers Forum. It's Petroleum Technology Development Fund. Master that thing very, very well, so that if it comes, that will be a very easy bonus question. Then the other tip I would give us is, if you are going for the interview, try to have examples that you can cite in support of your work. Not like always, don't go for memorizing things, because if you memorize something, it puts you under pressure. But try to think of natural examples that your instinct can tell you about, which you can easily relate to whatever anybody will be asking you. Those examples can be very, very helpful. And if you are lucky enough to have an example that your interviewer can relate to, say you are interviewing in Ibadan, for instance, and there is a case in Ibadan or a situation that has happened in Ibadan before. Maybe there was an oil spillage and your study is going to be about cleaning up oil spillages. You make reference to that oil spillage in Ibadan. The person who is interviewing you, if he's from that local environment, can easily relate to it. This is the subject of impact, the impact of what you are going to study. How relevant is it to the industry? Because PTDF, usually they say that relevant to the industry, that's oil and gas or energy, or helpful to the Nigerian economy. if you can find a way that something relates to any of these two or relates to both of them, you are good to go. Is it relevant to the energy industry? Is it relevant to the Nigerian economy? How is it going to help the economy of Nigeria? Or how is it going to develop human capital for the oil and gas industry? Those three things. Once you can touch one of them, you are good. If you can touch three of them, you are like on another level. Yeah, but you don't need to struggle to touch everything, but there has to be a relevance to the oil and gas industry. That is PTDF's primary assignment. If they fail in that, then the purpose of their establishment is almost gone. They have no need for existence if they are not raising human capital for the oil and gas industry. So your research has to be relevant to that. I will not say much anymore. So we're going to just take your questions. Okay, just before that. So when you talk about impact, also think about measurable impact. This it might not be very easy for everybody, but it's something you can do. If you look at maybe anything, if you are looking at, say, computer automation systems or whatever, any course that you are studying, look at an aspect of oil and gas that uses that and try to see if you can place numbers on it. Say that automation has generated this amount of revenue for the oil industry, maybe in Canada or in the US or in the UK. And this automation process has not been implemented in Nigeria. This is just an example. I'm not saying Nigerian oil and gas is not automated to some extent. But say this thing you are going to do has been done in so and so place. You want to do it in Nigeria because in the place where it was done, this is the impact it gave. This is how much it saved them. This is how much it improved safety. This is how much it's improved environmental compliance. This is how much it reduced carbon footprints. This is how much it increased oil and gas production, or reduced drilling time, different things that you can say. Or this is how predictive maintenance protected the industry from unnecessary shutdowns and all that. There are a lot of ways to go around it, but try to have measurable impacts, try to have relevance to the industry, understand the methodology you are proposing, especially for PhD students. Try to foresee possible challenges and have like a backup plan at the back of your mind. And I think that was just the addition I wanted to make. Apart from these additions, we'll go straight to questions. And then in the course of the question, if Ariyo remembers anything, you'll be able to provide further answers, further explanations, and all that. But again, remember that you can win this scholarship. And remember that you don't need to be Wike's son or to be Sheyi Tinubu's friend to win this scholarship. You can win this thing purely on merit. In fact, the international one, I can sit down here and count up to 7, 8, 9 people that I know who won the international scholarship on merit. And then, of course, today you have seen somebody who won the local scholarship on merit. And there are several other examples. Like I can count so many examples for you. This is just to give you confidence that you can win the scholarship. And the competition is not national. The competition is to your state. So if you can beat everybody in your state, you have everything that you need. You may not have the best WAEC results or the best O-level results. This interview that you've been invited for is your opportunity to make up for those smaller things that you may not have. Professional body memberships, get them between now and the date of your interview if you don't have any, because if you don't have one, you are putting yourself at a small disadvantage. It doesn't mean you can't win, but it then means that your results and your interview performance will be like 100%. Remember that the other people who have been shortlisted are equally capable. If they ask you why you think you should be given the scholarship, don't brag. Don't make it look like all the other people are not anything, like you are the only star that has to shine. Acknowledge the fact that the other people are good too, and then bring out the part of you that is special and unique. Maybe the uniqueness of the course you are going to study, maybe how you demonstrated commitment to developing human capital before, and how the new knowledge is going to empower you to empower people the more. Like, find a reason that is reasonable, not the reason of I am the best student in my state. That's not. It's a reason that sounds derogatory. Also remember, you will have a lecturer interviewing you. He mentioned it. I want to emphasize it. If you have a lecturer interviewing you, think of yourself as if you are going for a project defense. That way, you dress properly for your project defense, dress properly to the PTDF interview. That way, you will not argue, like shout on your lecturers on your project defense day. Don't go there and shout on the people. The same way you go to your project defense and you look corporate. That's the way you should look when you go for PTDF interview. And that's it. Let's take the questions and then we'll try to answer them. First, I'm going to read out the questions that are in the comment section. But if any other person has questions, you put your hand up and then we can go through it. So, Ario, please, you turn on your mic because some of the questions I'll read them and direct them to you. Some are very simple ones. I'll just answer them in passing and for the sake of time. So somebody says, what is SOP? SOP is statement of purpose. It's just a short form for it. Is SOP mandatory for PhD because we didn't upload it? SOP is for masters, not for PhD. PhDs should have uploaded a research proposal. Please, is someone recording? Yes, I'm trying to record it, and if we get the permission of the guests, I would upload it on YouTube so that you all can have access to it much later. Then the other question, please, is this session recorded? Okay, I've answered that. Please, how about transcript? Is it compulsory? Ario, please, is transcript compulsory for the local scholarship?
No. Just go with your BSc certificate. That's all.
All right. Noted. Then the other question, please, professional body certificate in education, will it be relevant like TRCN? TRCN should be a relevant certificate because it's awarded by a recognized professional institution. Please, how many awards per state for PhD? They don't really give a specific number of what you should. Okay, number of awards in terms of how many people are giving the PhD scholarship. I don't have that number. Ario, do you know exactly how many people are awarded the scholarship per state?
I also don't have number, but I know that PhD awards are always very low compared to masters, but I don't have the number.
Yeah. So for the international, they give like 2 people PhD to, I think, to each country per state, but they do 3 from the oil producing states. I think the same model will repeat in Nigeria. The number should be higher for the local scholarship, I suppose. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this.
Yes.
But
In fact,
don't bother yourself with how many people are giving the scholarship. Think of yourself as the one person who will get it, even if it's just awarded to one person. And how can I get a certificate related to chemistry? Just look for chemistry, professional bodies in chemistry. Then follow the instructions on their website. You'll be able to get something. Please, how long does it take from interview to award? The number of months or number of days is not static. It changes from year to year. But trust PTDF with the process. Even if there's a delay, you will still get to hear their response from them. It's not fixed. Another question is that, please, I have changed specialization. Must I change statement of purpose? Ario, what do you think about this?
okay, all right. Is one of the things I omitted while explaining because um, if you have not done the right thing in your application for them to have invited you, please try as much as possible to do the right thing before you go for your interview. Like, for example, now, if in your statement of purpose you have seen that there are some errors or it's not flowing, it's not consistent, please rewrite it and present it to them. So you can just tell them that, oh, you have found some errors in this. So when they are checking your SOP on their system, present, like, make sure that you have printed about 3 copies. Present to them that, please, this is a new copy. They will still accept it. They are very accommodating. So for this particular question now, that you have changed your specialization, Yes, you should also let it reflect in your SOP that you have changed your specialization. So write based on the specialization you have changed to.
Yeah. So the usually you can, even for the international, you can modify your SOP to some extent. And I don't know how much it applies to local, but for international, you can even change your course after you have been awarded the scholarship. But if you go there, the document you have, if you have corrected some mistakes, that should be fine. They are going to accept it and then work with you based on that one. Then the other question is from, did we miss anyone? Okay, sorry. Um, because you are preparing for interviews, I wanted to allow us have like that opportunity to speak to a crowd, more or less, at this point. So if your question has not been typed, you can indicate by raise of hand. We want to take a few sample questions so that you can test yourself and see whether your voice is going to start breaking amongst your colleagues here. If it starts breaking too much, you know that you need to work on your confidence in speaking to people and all that. Yeah, but the next question is, how can I get a certificate? No, we've answered that one. Another question is, nah, we've answered that one. The next one is, if I have published papers, an MSc applicant, should I go with it? Of course, if you have papers as an MSc, go with it. Go with everything that you feel gives you an advantage. It's better you go with everything and then they reject some or tell you that some do not count than you get there and you realize that what would have given you an edge, you left it at home. You can get chemical society. Okay, so that one was somebody responding to the question. I would like to kindly ask whether there is still need for a second year MSc student to attend the interview if it has already been invited. So if they have invited you, just attend the interview. PTDF has this thing they say, they call it partial funding, and then they have full funding. Partial funding is for people like you who are already who have gone certain steps into their journey of the study. So what they do is that they fund the remaining part of the study. They might decide to backdate the tuition or whatever, sorry, the stipend or whatever, but there is room for partial funding with PTDF. I would really appreciate any clarification or thoughtful response on this. Okay, that's the person who was asking for masters. I do not have certificate, but I have my statement of result. My statement of result does not expire. So basically, that's what you must have uploaded during your interview, during your application. So if they invited you on the basis of that, go with it. And then if they have not written any more recent correspondence insisting that you must bring your original certificate, then you go with what you have, because if you can't get the certificate between now and the day, it will not be wise to forfeit going for the scholarship interview because you don't have the original. Please, still on transcripts for PhD. For anybody who is doing PhD, it's expected that you should have your transcripts from your bachelor's degree at least. So go with the one you have. For the international, I went with my certificate and my transcripts. Yeah, but being in Nigeria, they understand that the results could be challenging. Aria would make some comment on that later as well. Please, sir, should you make photocopy of our credentials and present both the photocopy and the original? Not necessary. You can go with the original. They will see it and return it to you. They are not taking any of the certificates from you on the interview date. Will my statement of result be a problem since it has no expiry date? We've answered something on statement of result just now. SOP is not for PhD. We already said that. I have my O-level printout, not YX certificate. Can I use? It is best to get your YX certificate. If you cannot get it, this would be an honest advice. You need to buy a scratch card and go to the place with it, because they will need to verify that the printout is an original printout. You remember that somebody forged JAMB results not too long ago. So those kind of things, you need to be careful with that. Please, can you help us with how the grading is done? I think he discussed that during the discussion. I don't think we should go back to it. Or Ariyo, what do you think?
Yes, I discussed it, but let me just briefly tell them. So for aspiration, perspiration, and motivation is 20 marks. Aspiration 15. Then the other one is 20. Or I don't know if they can message me personally so that we won't just take time on this question. You get? So let's go with other questions. Hello.
Yes, please, you can just run through it. I think many of them joined late, and that part will be very important for them.
Okay, all right. Let me
Thank
just
you.
quickly run through it. All right. So the grading system now for motivation, you can ask how did you develop your research interest? Then why did you decide to go for this master's or PhD? Then why did you want to go into your field, your chosen field? So that one is 20 marks. For motivation is 20 marks. For aspiration is 15 marks. Then for perspiration is 20 marks. Then the interview itself is 20 marks. You know, for motivation, aspiration, and perspiration, they want to see them in your proposal and your SOP. So that means your SOP alone is taking like that will be around 55 points or thereabout. Then your interview itself is 20 marks. Then your qualification first class is 10 marks. Um, second class upper is 8 marks. Then second class lower is 5 marks. So, but for qualification, they allocate 10 marks for it. Then publication, that one is 5 marks per one. So anyone that you have, and the maximum is 5, but there is no minimum. At least have one or have like 3. Then for national award, each award carries 2.5 marks, and the mark allocated for the award is 10 marks. So at least, so that means you should have at least 4 awards. So that's the grading system. Hello, I'm done.
So I have a question.
Okay, all right.
Thank you so much for that. So the questions, there are, let's see if there are some others that we can quickly run through. Will they ask for admission letter for PhD applicants? Admission letter is not a compulsory thing for PTDF scholarship. It becomes compulsory when you win the scholarship, but if you have it already, go with it. If you don't have it yet, then go for your interview. As an undergraduate in his final year, when is the right time to start thinking about scholarship? Like this is the right time to start thinking about it, and that's why you are here. So you learn what is ahead of you, and then you start taking the right steps towards it. Can lecturing experience work? Lecturing is a good experience. Any work experience is work experience if so long as it's relevant in your field. But let's also be clear, PTDF, it's only people who have 2-2 that they really use their work experience as a part of augmenting their application. For other people like 2-1 and first class, your work experience doesn't really carry grading points. What your work experience helps you do is that it makes it easier for you to relate with real life examples in your interview. So you can draw several examples from your workplace. Like when I did mine, I had worked on a project in Ondo State that there was an oil well that blew up there. I was born in, and I was part of the team that was planning to do, they call it wild well control in oil and gas. We are supposed to go and cap the well, quench the fire, cap the well, and all that. So that was one of the examples I used in my, of course, I didn't go into all the technical details of what I knew about the well, but that example from work experience was very good. I am a graduate member of NSE. I don't have the certificate. Print from your portal. If you don't have certificate or your ID, print from your portal. Ensure that what you are printing out has your details, your membership details. So please, can you explain perspiration again at the core of competence? Daniel, please, Ario, sorry, I keep just mixing that name. You will speak more about perspiration a little bit later. Let's just run through all the remaining written questions. If you need contacts of schools that process application for CSN Polymer, I can provide. Okay, this is somebody offering to help. Please, you can reach out to him. Usually on this platform, we like to help people for free, especially fellow scholars. Then let's not make a business out of it, just saying that for the sake of everybody knowing it. Look at the time Ario has given us today. He has done all of this free of charge and nobody has paid him. So please, if you can help any of your colleagues, if you have contacts with people who can help them process their memberships faster, please help them for free. I don't have publication, but I presented a paper. Okay, my project. Yeah, please. Papers are the research output is either in conference presentations or journal papers. Journal papers are rated stronger in terms of PTDF. But if that is not what you have, then go with your conference presentation. Then Abba is asking, I want, please, let's chat on WhatsApp. Okay, I think he's trying to look for Arios contacts for further conversations. These are all the questions in the chat just now. I wanted to run through those ones so that Ario can focus on the questions that will come up from the raised hands. There are how many hands that are raised here now? There are 3 raised hands, and we'll go in the order of the hands. Yeah, okay, 4 raised hands at the moment. Who came first and who came second? Okay, 4 raised hands. Yeah, I've seen that. First person was Sunday. Okay, Tuku Sunday, right? So you unmute yourself, go ahead and ask your question, and Ario will be here to answer you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. The question I wanted to answer has been answered. I dropped it on the chat box. It has been answered.
We can't hear you, Sunday, or has the question been answered?
Yes, the question.
So please, if your question has been answered, kindly drop your hand in the raised section. I'll drop Sunday now. Kasim, has your question been answered as well? Has your question been answered? No. I don't know which question has been answered or not, but if your question has been answered, do us a favor, drop your hand so that others whose questions have not been answered can raise theirs and we can recognize them. So I would assume that the people who raised their hands earlier have been answered, except they tell us otherwise. For now, let's go to the top and start from Ishak. If I don't get your name correctly, please pardon me for that. It seems he's okay. So this is what I'll do. I'll drop all the hands. If you know your own question is still an active question, raise your hand again. I'm going to drop all the hands now. And then if your question has not been answered, you just raise your hand. Let's take it that way to save our time. All right. So yeah, one person. Who is that one person? Okay, 2 people now. So yeah, Panku, Ishak Panku, please go ahead. Let's make it very fast because of time. Go ahead, one straight to your point, question, answer, we'll move on.
Okay, Karaki.
Yeah, we can hear Fatima, but
Good
we
evening,
can't.
everyone.
There was a guy. I don't know. Okay, so
Good evening,
Benjamin, are you
everyone.
there?
Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am Isaac Usman Daniel. So I have a question to ask. Before asking the question, I may like to appreciate this great orientation, especially Ario and Augustine. We appreciate your good deal. So may Almighty Allah bless you. My own question here is that I am residing here in Kaduna State. Also, I started my MSc in Kaduna State University, but I applied for this PTDF scholarship. So pertaining this membership professional body, I only have TRCN here with me. And then my own interview date is on 19 this month. So I don't know whether if there is a room for me to register for another membership to get it before that on 19. So that is the question I really want to hear the answer, please.
All right. Okay. For your question now, what I would just say in general that can also cover for other people, please, any document you know that you can still get between now and your interview date, please get them and take them along. There are some documents that you will not be able to get, but if you have an evidence, they are not looking for the certificate itself, but if there is an evidence. I could remember vividly when I wanted to get my second certificate, it did not get to me on time. I needed to go to the department or the office where they wanted to issue the certificate for me. They wrote and a letter for me that I have been admitted, like they signed it, not even the certificate itself. So it was that thing I went with during my interview, and they acknowledged it. They counted it for me that I've gotten another membership. So there is a letter given to me during that time. So if there is anything, any document you can lay your hand on, like go on internet, how you can get evidence that you have belonged to a particular membership, is just the evidence they need, not mainly the certificate. If you can get certificate, fine, but if you have evidence, just evidence of membership or evidence of publication, get them and let them be part of what you take to the venue.
Okay, sir.
I'll
So,
add to that when I went for my own interview, I had I was member of one organization called NAPE, member of Society of Petroleum Engineers. But in fact, at the time, my petroleum engineers, my Society of Petroleum Engineers membership was even not. It was, I would say, expired because I was owing them membership due. Then we were supposed to pay in dollars, and I was in Nigeria, so you know what that could mean. But what I just did was to print out from the portal that I am a member, and that's it. You are a member, you're a member. You can be owing money, you could have paid, you might be up to date or not, but just print out the membership form. The same thing was what I did for NAPE. NAPE also was a printout from their website. So long as it has your membership number, has the logo of that organization, all that kind of detail that helps verify it, then you are good to go. For which association you can register for today, I don't know what your course is, but if your course is related to anything oil and gas, just go to Society of Petroleum Engineers. You can sign up today and they will approve your membership without, they should be able to give you a membership number before you pay. And once you have that membership number, that is what you need. The printout that shows you have a membership number, that is what you need. There could be other associations in Nigeria. Just look around. check the internet, ask your colleagues, and try to see what you can come up with. Yeah. Then next hand that is raised here is Benjamin. Benjamin, if you are still there, please go ahead with your question very quickly. Any other questions, please raise your hands because time is running against us already.
Yes, thank you. Good evening. I want to also thank all the organizers, Mr. Augustine, and the other my friend from University of Ibadan. I have just a question. I have two publications that are under review, which I uploaded during the registration. So I don't know if I can actually go with them like that. They are still under review. So that is what I just wanted to ask.
All right, simple question, simple answer. Just go with it. It's better you are there with a document that you don't need, and rather than leaving some document at home and it will count, but you didn't go with them. So just go with everything, the document, the publication under review, and everything. Probably they can consider it. You get so just go with them to the interview.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, so I believe when they sent you, when you submitted that thing, they sent you a letter showing that you have submitted something and the thing is now under review, blah, 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 blah. So print that thing out, that email or whatever means of correspondence, print it out, and then print out the paper itself, the paper you submitted, go with the two. So this is the paper I submitted that is under review. And this is the evidence that this paper has been submitted. Everybody in the academia knows that no paper goes through writing, and most papers, they don't just go from the students and jump into the hands of the reviewers. Your supervisor probably would have seen it, which gives some level of credibility to the work, because if your supervisor saw it, approved that his name or her name should be on it and is going out for publication, it shows that there is some credibility. So go with it. Better that they reject it than that they would have accepted but didn't go with it. There are many other hands raised now, so I will drop Ishak, I will drop Benjamin now. Then we have Fatima, who was trying to speak the other time. Fatima, if you are still there, please go ahead very quickly.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good evening to you all. Thank you for this insightful knowledge, sir. I still want clarification on the issue of change of specialization. Assuming I have changed, although it's the same course, but I just changed the specialization. Will there be a question that they will say I should link the two specialization to oil and gas, or I will keep the one that I changed, the earlier one, and just talk about the one that I have changed now, although I have not received a new admission letter on the change of specialization I made? Thank you.
Wow, this is a critical question. What I would say here is that, you see, as you are studying for the boards, they can ask you questions. No, there is no fixed pattern of the interview. So they can ask you question on specialization, and they can ask you question on proposed one. And now that you have not even gotten an admission in the one that you have changed to, so it's another case. So, but just study for the two. They can ask you questions from the two to link the two together with the one of them. So it's a critical.
Yeah. The other thing that could help you is this. If you like, if I changed from one specialization to the other, and I'm going to PTDF, this is my personal opinion and what I would do if I'm in your situation. So if I go there, in my starting line, I'm going to find a way to convince them that I changed from here to here, and this one I changed to, I find more relevant. So I find more relevance to the oil industry here, or I find myself more capable of delivering impact to the oil and gas industry here. So arguments like I changed to this because it is going to be more profitable to me, is the kind of argument you want to avoid. Always relate your answer to how, make it, think of the answers as to how does it benefit PTDF's intentions, because they are the ones spending money on you, and they are not spending money on you necessarily to fulfill your own ambitions. They are spending money on you to fulfill your ambition that helps them reach their goal. So if you have changed from one course or specialization to the other, think of a line of argument that convinces them that this new one is better, is more helpful to the industry or to the economy than the one you were studying, or maybe they are of equal relevance, but you find yourself more, you'll be able to contribute more in this area, maybe because of your state of origin, or because of for different reasons. There could be reasons that makes you unable to go to the rig to drill wells, but those reasons may not apply if you decide to stay in the office and design, say, enhanced oil recovery techniques. Sorry for my oil and gas language. That's my background. There could be reasons why you may not go to offshore, but you might be able to stay onshore and work. So those kind of things. It's not like onshore is more important than offshore, but this is where your 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 circumstances helps you get into, and that's where you will deliver impact. Always remember, it's about impact, not about your personal benefits. Yeah, I hope that was helpful. Then let's take question from Erha.
Yaro ya ƙi ya wannan na ji karatu. Ni kan bari ma fita daga wannan in yi joining ɗin tsaya. Ba su gama ba. Wannan
Yes,
na wannan malamin.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
please go ahead.
This is Era Orokwe Adamson. First of all, I would say a big thank you to what you just put in, because it's not really easy giving this access to us, knowledge in a platter of good. Um, there are rare humans that can actually do this. I say, may God bless you. In Jesus' name, amen. I just have some question. I think just in a particular line. I'm a graduate of mechanical engineering, so I'm presently doing my master's in mechanical engineering in full year in Delta State. But now I already have, I'm a graduate member of NSC. You just make mention of SPE. So as the meeting was on, I said, okay, let me just check. And I checked, I observed that there is a student membership and there is a professional membership. So I want to ask if it's ideal for me to go with the student membership because of this uh, interview, and also if there's any other membership that you can see advise me to get. So I think that's just my question.
Okay, all right. So if I've gotten you, you made mention of three categories of membership now. Please don't mix them up, because I also have graduate membership and I presented it to them. They accepted it. So there's something they call student membership. That's the one they do, like they have in the department. Okay, I belong to this membership, but I'm still schooling undergraduate. That's student membership. There's one they call graduate membership. Graduate membership is after you have graduated from, like, gotten your BSc, then they enroll you in the professional association as a graduate member. Then there's another one, like it has cadres, like it has levels. So I also have graduate membership certificate. So don't mix them up. There's something they call student membership. They don't accept student membership. They don't. But for graduate membership, yes, you can go
No,
ahead and present them.
no, hello, sir. What I'm talking of is the SPE. The SPE site. I just checked it just now. I observed that there are two categories of membership. One is professional and the other one is student membership. the SP side, not in school.
Okay, okay. For the student membership, they don't acknowledge it. They don't. But
Daniel, let me
anyways, you
come
can.
in briefly. So
Mm,
SP has provisions for student membership, and they have provisions for graduate member, professional member, all that. For the sake of PTDF, is from graduate member upwards. That's what they accept. That's what you take to PTDF, and it will count, especially for people who are going for anything that is master's or PhD. I don't know if we have any undergraduates of the PTDF local scholarship here, but if it is master's for PTDF, PhD for PTDF, they only accept graduate memberships of professional bodies, from graduates to professional to fellow, anyone that you have. But because you are a student in FUPRE, I would assume that a student membership of SP also has some advantages to you, because since you are still doing your masters, that student membership gives you maybe discounts to NAPE, discounts to NAIS conference and all that kind of thing. But SP can allow you to have both memberships. You have graduated as a student, you can use your bachelor's certificate to sign up as a student member, as a graduate member, and then use your university email at FUPRE to sign up on another account as a student if it becomes necessary. Or you can get the the graduate, and downgrade it to students, based on how your circumstances change and all that. Myself, I left my Nigerian SP account is professional. My UK SP account is student, because when I came here for PhD, they had like a bursary where the SP in my environment, they conduct like exams, competitions, and you could compete as a student and win some more, sometimes up to £5,000, 2,400, 2,500 pounds, things like that. So the student member had advantage for me. For PTDF, it has to be professional membership. The other associations you can join is like NAPE, maybe Society of Nigerian Engineers, what's it called again? Society of Mechanical Engineers in Nigeria. I think they should have something like that. All those things, you can join them, and that should be good enough. So we'll move on to the next person. Who was that? Amina, I think I've seen your hand raised for a while. Go on with your question.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Proceed.
good
We can
evening,
hear
good
you.
evening.
Okay, my name is Amina. Thank you for the mentorship. So my question is, during my undergraduate studies, most of my publications were focused on nutritional biochemistry. So should I take them along, the papers? Should I carry the publications, the journals along? Because they are mostly nutritional biochemistry based researches.
Yes, please take them along. Take your publications along. And it's just
Okay,
that they can ask you how is it relevant to oil and gas. Just try to link it up. So take them along.
okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, so let me just add, for the sake of every other person, anything you have that is a publication, take it with you. Uh, Publication is not the reason they are looking for publication, is not just for you. It's not necessarily to see the relevance of the publication to the oil and gas industry itself. It is more like for you to demonstrate. A publication is a demonstration of academic capability, your ability to do academic writing. That is what publications are for, and that's why they mostly demand it from PhDs, because in many schools you can't graduate from a PhD if you don't know how to do academic writing. there's this series I used to do on Facebook and YouTube on academic writing and all that. But if you don't know how to do academic writing, it's difficult to graduate from a research-based program. That's part of the principal reasons why they ask you for it. So whether it is in soil science or it is in psychology or it is in whatever it is, just take it along with you and present it to them. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Who is next? Abba, go ahead.
Hello. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Please proceed.
I am Abba Shamsu. I would like to express my appreciation to Mr. Ario and Augustine for this wonderful meeting. Really appreciate that. And my question is that during my application process, there are these supporting documents, specifically application forms that I filled during this application for my membership of professional bodies. So I uploaded those supporting documents because I couldn't get the certificate as at then. So now, in case if I obtain any certificate, is there any need for me to go online again on my profile and upload those certificates, or maybe any other supporting document that I obtain in addition to those application forms that I uploaded in place of the professional certificates? Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't really get that question very well. I was just hearing more of supporting documents, professionals. So what's the question, please? Can you recap? Just go straight to the point.
Okay, the question is that during my application process, I
Okay.
uploaded the forms that I filled and the responses that I obtained from this specific professional bodies that I applied for their membership. I think one American society like that and some other Nigerian institutes. So what I'm asking is that those application forms and those replies to their emails that I obtained, is it okay for me to maybe if I obtain any other supporting document in addition to those applications, maybe a certificate or maybe any other response from the professional bodies, do I have to go to my profile now and upload those documents again, or do I have to just leave the profile as it is, then carry any other documents, maybe certificate or any other additional documents to the interview?
Okay, all right. I think your network is breaking, but I was able to capture some things, particularly to the certificate. So now that you have been invited, you can't upload anything again. Like it's not possible anymore. They have closed the portal. So, but if when you were looking for membership and they just gave you a supporting document, not the original certificate, and you uploaded that. Now it has been maybe based on that they have acknowledged it and they have invited you for it. So you can, if you have not gotten the certificate, take it to the interview. If you still have the supporting documents, take it to the interview. Take everything along, but you can't upload anything again on the portal. So if you have any adjustments to your application, take everything along with you to the interview. I think that should cover all the questions.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to advise. Whatever you have, go with it. They are going to do physical examination of your documents. So just take it along and that should be fine. We have two more questions and we would run a summary and that will just be it. Okay, three. So because of time, we will not be taking further questions after these three. And then the three people who are going to ask questions, please make it fast, be audible, and make it as snappy as possible. Umar Sani, no, Umar just came in now. So Benjamin Osita, go ahead with your question very quickly.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, our able facilitators. We are really grateful, and may God bless you in thousand folds. My question is what actually I came for the interview for the overseas interview. Unfortunately, I didn't get it. Something happened during the session, which I want to ask. I did my first degree in electronic engineering at UNN. So after that, I got a lecturing job in education. So I'm working in industrial technical education. So from there, I did my PGD and did my master's in industrial technical education. So during my interview, I applied for PhD for that overseas. So the prof there was actually not comfortable that I diverted from engineering to education. So that actually gave me, I couldn't find a ground to connect the engineering to the education and then to the oil and gas sector. So I want to put up this question and to know how you can help me and link it because I'm also invited in this local interview so that I will have a background on how to link these three options. Secondly, when we are coming for the publication, are we coming with the journal book or is it that we print our work? Are we coming with the journal book, the book for all our publications, or is it that we print our work out and take it to the interview? All right, thank you.
Mr. Augustine, I think can you answer the first question because as it
Okay,
is now,
Daniel, let me help you on this one a little bit. So, if you are going for the education as engineering, there is something called. In fact, I'll be surprised that somebody found that an improvement. Because if you are going for PTDF interview, one of the things PTDF is interested in is capacity building. So, and capacity building means education. Now, for somebody who has been in engineering, there is also something they call capacity building services in engineering. That's why you have the likes of Shell, the likes of Chevron. In fact, practically all those companies will have somebody who is heading capacity building inside the company. So the head of capacity building is the person who arranges trainings, ensures that the engineers are getting their certifications, they are on the job trainings at the right time and all that. So your argument could be in that direction. If you have gone into education from an engineering perspective, it is you have the engineering understanding. And of course, what we are doing is technical education. You can go to different areas. You can start a service company that does training for people. You can work in a company where you are heading, you are responsible for trainings, or you can also do local content. You can also do local content, human capacity development, because that's something NCDMB is very, very big on. This Nigerian Nigerian Content Management Board. So these are areas you can go to with technical education and engineering as it relates to oil and gas. For your publications, if they are in a publication booklet, go with the booklet. Don't just print it out. But if you are going, if it is um, if it is a paper that was published online, like a Scopus index paper, print the paper itself because so if I have a paper like on Elsevier, I can go to Elsevier, print that paper, a copy of that paper, because it's going to carry Elsevier's name, it's going to carry the DOI of the paper, the date of submission, date of publication, authors list, and all that. If it is in your departmental or faculty journal, that paper one, go with it because that's the one that will show them that this is actually a published paper, right? For the person who asks if you could go with papers that have been submitted, I said print the email. and then go with the printout of the paper. The reason for printing the email is to provide that evidence that this thing is already in process. If you have it published already, go with the publication. That solves your problem. Technical education, relate it on those three different areas, and you'll be fine. Is that okay? Did you get the point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm very grateful.
All right. So let's go to I think 2 more questions, and that will be it. Ario, do you have anything to add to that?
No, that's
Okay. The other person is Ibrahim Mustafa. Mustafa, please go ahead with your question if you are
that's
still
all
there.
to the question.
Very
It has
quickly.
answered it.
Okay, hello. Good evening, all. Thank you. Oh, my question is that, like, I am a graduate of economics, and I'm doing my master's, professional master's of petroleum and energy. Now, so I don't know,
Please
like, if
speak a bit louder so that we don't have to go over the question twice.
okay, like.
I can't hear you.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So I'm doing my professional masters of petroleum and energy economics. So I got invitation for this PTDF local scholarship. So I don't know whether if I'm eligible still, if they can pick me.
Ario, I don't know if you heard him. I struggled to hear. I think I heard something about another scholarship, but I really can't make complete sense out of it. Mustafa, just repeat it, but please be clearer and louder because of time.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello. Okay, I'm a graduate of economics, and then I'm doing like my professional masters of petroleum and energy economics currently. Now I'm in second semester. You understand? Then I got this invitation by PTDF to I upload before I started the masters. I uploaded this my admission letter for my masters. That's it. Do you get me?
Okay. I think he's trying to look for balance between professional masters and the normal masters. And see, for them to have invited you for the interview, that means the documents that you uploaded has already, like, they've qualified you to be maybe one of the beneficiaries. So don't be afraid. Just take the documents along and just defend based on the documents you uploaded. So that is okay.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you. Mm.
Yeah. We're coming close to the end of it, and we take the final question just now. That's a question from Umar Sani. Umar, please go ahead. Umar Sani, are you there? Okay. It doesn't seem like he's there, so I'll just drop his hand now. And Aria, do we take one more question in place of his, or withdraw the curtain here?
If you have more questions, we can answer them. I still have.
Hello.
I think I have.
Okay, excuse me. Sorry. Can you hear me, Augustine?
Yes, I can hear you now, Ibrahim.
Okay, like I think like my answers is not like I'm currently in second semester now. You understand? I'm currently in second semester. So I don't know like if I can apply for another, if I got the scholarship, is it possible I can get the scholarship then apply for another school?
Now I think I understand your question. Now you are currently on your second semester, and you are
Yes.
thinking if you get the scholarship, you can now use the scholarship to apply to another school to start afresh, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Mr. Augustine, please can you help me? Because I think if
Hello.
they have
Good
invited
evening.
you based on the application you have put forward, and you uploaded your professional, like your current masters on your application page.
Ye-
So I think they will be funding this your current program and not the one that you want to start afresh. So I think you should stick with the current one, because now if they are paying you, they only pay the remaining fee for your program to be completed, not for a fresh one. I don't know if you get that.
Okay. Yes, I get it because I even completed the payment of the whole program. I completed the payment already.
Sorry, I can't hear that.
Okay, like I already paid the whole school fees, ma. The whole school fees. I already paid the school fees.
Okay, you have paid for everything. Okay, the thing is that they will still just focus on your interview and get the scholarship. They will still pay you. They will still pay. Maybe they will pay partly or they will pay in full. But I'm very sure that they will pay you.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Really appreciate.
Hello. Good evening. I have a network
Let me
breakdown.
just say this. I don't.
Hello.
PTDF is one organization that is. PTDF is, I would say, they are very flexible or relatively flexible. So, if, for instance, you go for the interview and but this would have been easier if we had this conversation at the point of application. If we had the conversation at the point of application, I would have said apply as though you are going for a new master. So in that case, what you would have done is get the scholarship, then maybe defer it until you finish this one, and then you are tackling the second one. So that way, the scholarship forms your second master for you. But because you have already used your current master to apply, it becomes a question of you going for the interview on the basis of the current masters, you win it, and then PTDF can now, you can reach out to them and try to discuss the reality that, see, you are finished this masters, but this is the other interest you have. And then you see what can be done for you. So they have like their mechanisms internally through some of these adjustments on a case by case basis. I know of somebody who got PTDF when he was finishing a PhD somewhere and then had to go for his foreign studies on for another PhD under PTDF. But like I said, it would be easier if this conversation was happening before you applied. But even now that you've applied, just go for the interview, get the scholarship first, and then you can see how to um, talk to them and explore some possibilities around the whole thing. Yeah, but they can be very flexible.
Okay, thank you very much.
I hope that helps.
Hello. Sorry.
Hello,
Sorry.
sir. Hello, sir.
I have a network breakdown before. Sorry,
Hello,
sir.
sir.
Hello.
Okay. Someone is talking.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Sorry,
Hello.
there's a network issue somewhere.
Sorry,
Umar,
sir.
if
Can
you
I
are
go
back,
ahead? Yes,
I
I'm
think you
back.
were supposed to ask a question, but you are our last
Yes.
person asking question today. If
Yes, sir.
I don't know how much time Ario has, but we don't also want to keep him for too long. Umar, if you are back, ask your question. If you are not back, then reach out either to myself or to Ario personally, and then that could be it.
I'm here,
Any
sir.
other
Hello, sir. Can I
question?
replace?
I'm
Okay,
here,
okay.
sir. Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Okay.
Hello, sir. Umar,
Someone
I'm
is
here.
talking.
I'm Umar Sani. Hello?
Mr.
Can
Omar,
I
go
go
on,
ahead?
go on.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Umar, you can
I
go ahead
have,
now, please. That should be
okay.
our last question.
All right, sir. My own is that all my study, I'm a management student. I have a BSc and MSc in accounting. So I work with one of the tertiary institution as an internal auditor. I also engage in audit engagement with one accounting firm like that. So all my publications are between public sector, taxations, artificial intelligence relatively to the audit quality and rest. So I don't know whether all this experience can be counted during the interview if I can highlight them.
Okay, all right. So let me answer that question straightforward. You see, PTDF is very flexible, like Mr. Augustine said. It's not only limited to engineering, technologies, computer, all this. No, they also fund management, accounting, all this, in fact, education, anything that you are studying or any field that you are, but if you can just prove your point and relate it to the oil and gas. So all your qualifications that you have in accounting, your experiences and everything, the publications, yes, they will count. Like I've seen somebody in accounting that has gotten the scholarship, so it will count. Just prepare yourself for the interview and go. That's all.
Hello,
All
sir.
right,
As you
thank you,
say,
sir.
hello, sir. Hello.
Mr. Umar, do you have any question again?
Hello, sir. Okay.
Mr.
Hello.
Mr. Augustine, can we take one more? It's like I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
Sir. Hello, sir.
All right, go ahead. You can go ahead, Mr.
Okay,
Sufyan.
sir. Thank you. Have a nice day, and then really appreciate this wonderful meetup. My question here is that I'm just asking that for example, when filling the PTDF scholarship online, I maybe feel I have maybe one membership. One membership, I just registered one membership, but I have a lot, maybe like three membership. Maybe I'm a member of three organizations or three entities. So I just register one. Can I go for the remaining three, maybe for the interview when the time of the interview arrive? Maybe can I go with the remaining certificate to present it to them, or I should leave it like that? So I put one and then I will present one.
Okay, all right. Like we have always
The
been saying.
straight answer is yes. You can go with if see like PTDF understands that you could have registered maybe I think this application was open maybe 2 months ago or thereabout. So between that 2 months ago and today, you could have made a lot of career progress. And any career progress you've made could be captured by PTDF into judging your application. So if you have now gained more professional bodies or you had some that you did not upload, go with them. Present what they are looking for is evidence. Do you have this or do you have that? Show them the things you have, and that should be good enough. Ario, please let's just take this last question from somebody whose hand is raised. Ekpenyo,
Okay.
what's your other name? Okay, Ekpenyo.
Okay.
Please go ahead
Yeah.
and ask your question.
Okay. Good evening, or good evening, my boss. Okay, Costin. Actually, I really appreciate your effort. I can recall when I approached you to actually hold a webinar for this purpose of this local scholarship interview of PTDF. I really appreciate that you actually accepted to help us, the shortlisted candidates. Actually, my question is concerning SOP for master students. Are the questions going to be directly from SOPs, or and also are we going to go there with a printout of our SOPs during the interview? Please, I really need clarification on this. Thank you, sir.
Okay, all right. So for your SOP, when if they start the interview, they can ask you any question. It may not be directly from your SOP. The reason why we are saying you should study your SOP more is that most of the questions they will ask, most underlined, most, it may be from your SOP. So it's not limited to your SOP, the question they will ask you. So that's why I'm saying no, don't be rigid on your SOP. Then for the printing of your SOP, I don't think you need it during the interview, but you can print it so that you can be reading it before you enter the interview, because as you are speaking, they will be checking your SOP on their system, unless if you have modified your SOP and you want to present a new one to them, then you can print it. I even forgot to make mention of this thing during my application, that please print out your application page on PTDF and take it along. So you have to print that one also and give it to them. So that's that about the question.
Hello, my question is that during the scholarship application, I applied with the admission that is on ground, which is not the real cost.
So l- let's just work with the process. So the idea is you raise your hand, the hand is recognized, and then you ask questions. Because if we go by everybody just asking questions, we will not have organization here. So what I would say is, for your SOP, it's a double-edged sword depending on how you play it. If you decide to print it and go with it to the interview, the question is, will you be able to present that SOP without having to depend on looking at it so much? If you are going to be looking at the SOP every time you make one sentence, then don't print it. Don't be tempted to go with it, because it will sell you off as somebody who does not understand what it's trying to say. But yes, you can print it and have it as for self-reference, but not as something you are going to go and read to them. Because once you start doing reading in any Viva style exam or interview, it just sells you out as somebody who does not know what he or she is doing. So study the SOP, understand it very well. That will be the primary source of questions for you, technical questions, apart from other questions like why should we sponsor you, or questions like what is the meaning of PTDF if at all it comes. Apart from those kind of questions, your SOP is your primary anchor. And in fact, even when they're asking you about why they should sponsor you, the in the end, the answer still has a way of touching back to your SOP and touching on what you want to do with the scholarship. So if they are saying, why should we pay for you? You should look at what's the relevance of that thing we propose to study, and how do you intend to use that thing you propose to study to help PTDF to actualize their own goals, or to help Nigeria's economy become better, or to improve process safety in the oil and gas industry, or something that stays within PTDF's goals. That's the way it happens. So we are 5 minutes before 9:30. I would want us to be done by 9:30. Ario, you can we for the sake of time and for the sake of everything trying to help, let's take this last question from the person who was talking, and then you give a closing remark, I give a closing remark, and we'll close.
All right, no problem. No problem.
Hello,
Yes,
during the
Mohammed, go ahead.
interview, is there any room for changing of course? Because during the scholarship application, I applied with the course with another different course that is not my dream course. Is there any room for me to change the course? to my initial dream course, which is the most relevant to oil and gas.
Okay, all right. Let me just answer that and direct. Yes, you can change your course, but
Question. Between these two
during
courses, which of them is more relevant to oil and gas?
The course that I am going to change is more relevant to oil and gas than the first course that I applied with.
Okay. So, if that is the case, you need to prepare yourself to be able to defend why you are changing the course. I think we answered this question, a similar question some minutes ago. You need to prepare to have like a defense line as to why you are changing this. They might choose to ask you questions based on what you already used for your application. But in trying to build a case for yourself, you can raise the reasoning with them that this is why you are going for this new course, and this is how it helps you. This is how it's more, or rather, this is how it's more relevant to oil and gas and all that sort of thing. Yeah, but
Okay.
speaking strictly, what the answer I'll give now is about the international one. If it were international, my straight answer is yes. You can change your course. In fact, if you are going for international, I would say go with the course you already applied for, win the scholarship if that helps you win the scholarship faster. And then after you won the scholarship, you can apply for a change of course. But Ario is in a better position to tell us if change of courses are possible in Nigeria or not.
no, you can change your course like as it is applicable to international. You can also, but what I'm just saying is that the course that you applied with in your SOP, make sure that you use that course to defend yourself during the interview. So once the interview is successful and you have been awarded, then you can change your course. Nobody will question you on that. But make sure that you get the award, like prove yourself very well during the interview with the course that you have applied for. Don't even mention that okay you are changing your course, because it will create another question for you to say like why are you changing and all of that. So but just try as much as possible to get this the scholarship through, like the, how will I say it now, the course that you have put in for the application. Defend it very well during the interview, then you are good to go. You can change your course after you have gotten your award.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, that's just the way it is. So it's been a very good time, and want to say a very big thank you to Ario once again. I know that everybody here has been very appreciative, and they value the time you spent with them. They value the information you've given them, but it will take us another 30 minutes if we said everybody should say thank you directly. When we were planning this event, I was asking him if he had a social media handle, because the moment he offered to do it for free, my thought was, what would be the best way to help, to kind of appreciate that willingness to help. So I thought if he had a good presence on social, if he was a social media person, we would have said, okay, let's do this as a live stream on his platform, then maybe move all this traffic to his platform. But I think he's somebody who needs to come to social media, because all this information you have at Rio is actually information that people are looking out for. This could start you an entire YouTube channel. And like I always say, information is scarce, sort of, and the world really needs more people who offer valuable information to the world, to at least create a divide or create some traffic away from all the vanities and all the pranks and all the rest of them that are really not helping people develop. So as a way of encouraging you, I would say, please, please, please consider it. Maybe start a YouTube channel, and you already have something to say. The recording of this event could be your starting point, or anything else could be your starting point. If that is something you consider, we could, but this will be very heavy. I don't know how long it will be if I decide to send it across to you, but it's something that I should consider very seriously. Starting a YouTube channel, not like your main job, but at least doing it once in a while. And for all of you that are here as well, think of something that is your expertise. Find a way of starting to share information around that, either on Facebook, on TikTok, or anywhere on YouTube, because in the long run, this you need to build influence for the sake of the future. You need to build visibility. I'll give us an example of something that happened on Friday. I was in school, and somebody sent me a message on LinkedIn. He has some jobs in Wales that he was looking for somebody to do. If I was not visible on LinkedIn, he wouldn't send me that kind of message. Yeah, at the moment, I'm not in a position to take the job because I'm still finalizing I'm still on a student visa, for instance. But I asked him if I could send that other CVs of people who are willing to or available to, and he was open to it. So please, as much as you are going for the scholarship, also consider the importance of building influence in your area of expertise. That is one. The other part of the thing I like to say and emphasize very, very much whenever I do something is the God factor. There is the spiritual controls the physical, no matter how you want to look at it. And it's very important that you build a life and live a life that is properly aligned with God. So if God says, this is what I want you to do, you do it. God says, this is what I don't want you to do, you avoid it. Build that personal relationship with God is very, very important in life. Regardless of the level you get to in this life, is always going to be very important. So once again, I want to say thank you to every one of you. And Ario, it will be good that you let us know how the people can contact you, just in case if anybody has any additional conversations. But please, Ario is also busy with his own studies. Let's not go asking repeated questions. Like if you have asked your question and he has answered it, don't go back to press and press and press and press further until he gives you the kind of answer that aligns with your interest. Let's understand and respect his time. Let's try to respect that, build that professional relationship and respect the time that he has. I believe you're on LinkedIn, Ario. Is that correct?
Yes. Actually,
Okay.
there's no problem. So I will drop my contact on the WhatsApp group so they
Okay,
can
so
contact
please,
me.
your contacts, you can send your LinkedIn profile to the WhatsApp chat because that it
All
will be
right.
easier for most of them to pick it up from there.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Please give us your closing remarks and just any other thing that you may have remembered. Once again, I'm very, very grateful for what you have done for us today. Thank you so much.
All right, so there's nothing much I want to say anymore because it's actually a great privilege for me to give back to my society, just like what I've done this evening. So it's not it's really a privilege. So I really appreciate everybody that participated, that attended. In fact, you have given me an opportunity to show my influence and all of that. And thank you very much for the listening ears. So my advice is just that go there and don't be afraid. Just present everything that you can do at your best. But please, like Mr. Augustine said, please pray also very well. The God factor, don't remove it because it's a thing for you to go for the interview and you have done it and you don't even know what happens afterward. So, like my case now, I just presented everything, then not knowing that it was like God had been speaking for me through. I don't even know. Look at what just happened during the interview. So please pray very well after the interview, before the interview, and all of that. Let God take control. And I really wish everybody a good success. I really want to be hearing that people sharing testimony with me after getting the award, even in the group chat or personally. I'm really looking forward to that. So I wish everybody a good success from the interview. Thank you very much. So good night. So you can reach out to me on my WhatsApp page. So I will drop my contacts on WhatsApp group. So you can reach out to me at any time. I should be able to help. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So everybody, let's just start pouring those round of applauses and the likes, the
Thank you
heart
very much, sir.
comments, and
Thank you, sir.
everything. Whatever you want to do to celebrate, to say
Thank
thank you to
you. Thank
Ario,
you. God bless
you
you.
can go ahead and say it now. So before we go, there are 24 of us still watching now. I want everybody to unmute themselves and just say thank you together at the count of three. One, two.
Thank you.
Are we all on
Thank
together?
you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
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 you.
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 God
Thank
bless
you,
you.
God.
God
Thank
bless
you,
you.
God.
God
We
bless
sincerely
you.
Thank
Wow,
you.
appreciate
wow.
you.
God bless you
Thank
and
Thank
your
you.
your
you.
family. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
All right, so that was it
Thank you.
from
Thank you,
this
sir.
end,
Thank
and
you.
I'll be saying
Thank
good
you.
night while everybody goes. All right, everybody, wishing you the best. You get success and you start your interviews. Take every instruction very seriously and always pray for divine favor. It's well with all of you, and I pray that God grants you success in Jesus' name. Bye for now.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.